Good morning. This is your 8:15 daily operations weather briefing. Seeing some partly cloudy conditions out there this morning and returning to more seasonable conditions to start the work week this week, as well as a slightly breezy wind out there this morning. We are expecting some slightly breezy to breezy conditions coming over the next couple of days, as well as a continuation of some seasonable temperatures over the next day or two. But no precip or lightning expected in the short-term forecast here. If we look at the current surface analysis, we have a boundary that pushed through the area last night that brought those cooler temperatures in, as well as some breezy conditions. Did see a wind advisory earlier this morning, but right now we are not under a wind advisory. Otherwise, we're expecting this area of high pressure to slowly build eastward, and as we sit between that area of high pressure and a couple areas of low pressure off to the northeast and off the coast, we'll see a tight pressure gradient over the region that's going to keep things breezy over the coming days. If we look at the current conditions this morning, the scattered deck around 9,500 feet, broken deck at 25,000 feet, seeing those winds again slightly breezy out of the north-northwest at 11 knots, gusting up to 18 knots, and seeing the temperature at 46 degrees, and our dry relative humidity at 45%. If we look at our current visible satellite, we can see that lower level cloud deck starting to move off the coast, still sticking with some high clouds around. Expecting that to continue as we go through today. We'll see some increasing clouds later on tonight, but otherwise just seeing seasonable and breezy conditions. If we look at the European model here over the next couple of days, we're not going to see much in the way of precip. We'll just see some cooler air vecting through the area, keeping that pressure gradient somewhat tight over the region, keeping those breezy conditions. But things remaining dry as we go overnight tonight and into Tuesday. Another seasonable day on Tuesday and staying dry. And as we go into Tuesday evening, we should see those winds relax a bit. And then going into Wednesday, we'll actually see a milder day as we see a slight warm up ahead of the next cold front that will be pushing through the area. As we go into Wednesday evening, we'll see those winds back up again on Wednesday and into Wednesday evening. As you can see here, another boundary pushing through, setting up for some more seasonable conditions towards the end of the week. So looking at our 24-hour weather risk chart for today, expecting overall mainly green conditions, but we will keep a yellow risk for those winds that are above 25 knots as we move through the daytime hours today, and likely picking back up again as we go through the overnight and into early morning hours on Tuesday. Right now, expecting our high temperature around 53 degrees. That's right on par with our average high this time of year. Otherwise, we'll see winds out of the north-northwest to northwest, 10 to 15 knots, gusting up to 23 knots as we go through the day. So just below that wind advisory criteria, but keeping that yellow risk for those winds that are above 25 knots. Should see a slight weakening in the winds as we get into the sunset time frame, and then they look to pick back up as we approach midnight. We'll see those temperatures cooling down to around 34 degrees, so that's pretty seasonable this time of year as well. And those winds picking up again after midnight out of the northwest at 9 to 14 knots, with those peak gusts back up around 23 knots. Right now, tide's expected to be about a foot above normal, and as we look at the next couple of days, we'll see partly to mostly cloudy conditions as we go through the day on Tuesday. Mainly partly cloudy, we can see some additional cloud cover at times. Otherwise, slightly breezy, high around 51 degrees. Do keep that yellow risk for those winds that are above 25 knots, a similar day to what we'll see today. As we go into Tuesday evening, again, expecting those winds to taper down a bit, so going green with our weather risk for Tuesday evening. Otherwise, mostly to partly cloudy with another seasonable evening with low around 41 degrees. And as we go into Wednesday, we'll see a milder day with partly to mostly cloudy conditions. We'll see a breezier day as well, so we do bump up to an orange risk for those winds that are above 25 knots. Otherwise, expecting that high temperature around 62 degrees, so pretty nice temperature-wise. That's going to wrap up the 8:15 daily operations weather briefing. We'll be back again at 10 a.m. to take a look at the extended forecast. Enjoy your morning.